Sure is a lot of whispering going on today.
It's the merchandise mafia at work. Ever since Fitch got vice president, they've all been scared out of their wits. So when's the big meeting?
Except for this afternoon. I sure hope Ponty can come up with something. Rosemary, where are you going?
Home.
At 10 o'clock in the morning?
I quit. I'm resigning.
Oh, nonsense. You've been threatening to do that all week.
This time it's official. I left a letter of resignation on his desk. Wait till he reads it.
But...
Smitty, I just can't take it anymore. I don't mind a person ignoring me completely, as long as he pays a little attention. Smitty, he doesn't need me.
But he did tell you that he loves you and he wants to marry you.
Shh. Smitty, that was supposed to be a secret.
Oh, don't worry, I didn't tell anyone.
What's the matter?
Rosemary's resigning from Finch.
But I thought he was going to marry her. That's what I thought. Me too.
Well, I only told the girls. Don't worry, she'll forgive him.
Never. Oh, you got to.
Yeah. You have to, Rosemary. It's a question of loyalty.
But I've been very loyal to him.
Not to him, to us girls.
That's right.
Yes. How often does it happen that a secretary's boss wants to marry her? Hallelujah. How often does the dream come true without a sign of conflict or barrier? From this land of carbon paper to the land of flower tints. Hallelujah. How often does a Cinderella get a crack at the prince? Cinderella and the prince.
Cinderella? I'm no Cinderella. I've got $85 in the bank and a savings bond.
But it's not a matter of money. He's a vice president. That automatically makes him a prince. True?
True!
Don't you realize? You're a real-life fairy tale, a symbol divine. So if not for your own sake, please, darling, for mine.
Don't, Cinderella, darling, don't turn down the prince.
Why spoil our enjoyment? You're the fable, the symbol of glorified unemployment.
We were raised on you, darling, and we love you ever since. Don't mouse off our favorite fairy tale. Don't, Cinderella, don't. Cinderella, don't. Cinderella, don't. Don't turn down the bridge. All right, I'll give him one more chance.
So you are now a vice president. You have climbed the ladder of success, rung by painful rung, until you have almost reached the top. You have done beautifully. Unless you are vice president in charge of advertising. In that case, you are in terrible trouble. There is only one thing that can save you. You must get a brilliant idea. The quickest way to get ideas is to develop them. That is, you must examine the undeveloped, worthless notions of others and add to them that extra something that makes the idea your own. An undeveloped notion may come from the least likely source. Be alert. You never know who will bring it to you.
Hi, Ponty.
Hi, bud.
Sorry I busted in. There was no one outside. First time I've seen your new office. Quite a nice layout. My favorite style, Chinese provincial. I bet you're wondering why I'm here.
Frankly, yes, bud.
Well, I want you and me to be friends. You know, smoke 'em peace pipe. You've always hated me.
Oh, bud,
Don't deny it. It's true. And I don't blame you. I've been a no-good, backbiting fink.
Oh, bud, that's a bit strong.
How would you put it?
I think your way is best.
Well, I'd like to change all that. I know you're stuck for an idea, and
Bud, I am not stuck.
Well, I was thinking that giveaway shows are going to come back.
Bud, I don't need anyone else's ideas. What was that?
I have this idea for the Worldwide Wickets Treasure Hunt giveaway. You see, we'll take a $1,000 savings bond and hide it somewhere. And then each week on television, give clues to its location. Now, as you say, you don't need the idea. But let me leave this with you. If you get a chance, look it over. Because the meeting's in a little while. I mean, it's soon.
What did your uncle say when you told him about this?
Well, I didn't bring it to my uncle. If I would have brought it to him, he wouldn't have listened. That's why I brought it to you.
So you haven't shown this to your uncle?
Look, Ponty, if you don't like the idea...
Bud, the idea doesn't give me much nourishment, but, maybe I'll give it a bit of a think.
Well, feel free to use it. I have returned.
Treasure hunt. It could be. $1,000 bond. This thing needs some kind of a new twist.
Ponty, I'm back. I changed my mind.
Oh, Miss Pilkington.
I don't blame you for being cold to me, but I did change my mind.
About what?
My letter.
What letter?
My letter of resignation.
Resignation from what?
The Girl Scouts of America.
Oh,
Don't you understand? I quit, resigned, left you forever.
why are you doing that?
Because I was hurt, humiliated, ignored, upset.
Who did that to you?
You.
Me? It couldn't have been me. I haven't said 10 words to you all week. True?
True.
Good. Now, Miss Pilkington...
Must you call me that? Can't you call me Rosemary?
No, and you must call me Mr. Finch until you're Mrs. Finch.
Am I really going to be Mrs. Finch?
I thought that was all settled.
Well, I keep on thinking that maybe you forgot.
I haven't forgotten. You're going to be Mrs. Finch because we're going to get married. Now, can I get to some serious matters?
Oh, sure.
Miss Pilkington, I have something I want you to hear. I've finally come up with a new idea for a television program. I'm thinking of calling it the Worldwide Wicked Treasure Hunt. The prize would be a $1,000 bond. Well, isn't that enough? Maybe we ought to give away $25,000. Miss Pilkington, listen carefully. This is very important. What would happen if we gave away $100,000? $200,000?
I don't care if you give away the whole company. I love you.
Say that again.
I love you.
No, before that.
I said, I don't care if you give away the whole company.
Oh, that's it. We'll give away the whole company. What a prize. I don't really mean we'll give away the whole company. We'll give away stock. No one can resist that these days. I've got to have time to work this out. I've got to speak to Mr. Bigley. He's got to give me a postponement. You know what? I think I'll go see him.
Good luck, Mr. Finch.
Thank you, Miss Pilkington.
Say, what about taking me to lunch? Nobody has to see us.
Miss Pilkington.
Sorry, Mr. Finch. No, to be loved, I am that with a goal to watch as he climbs with the grace in life and purity of soul. Oh, to be there in the corner of his mind, darling absent mind, such heaven wearing the winding uniform as he goes onward and upward happy to keep his dinner warm till he comes wearily home from downtown.
Are you pregnant or something?
No, I was just, checking some new plastic yarn. Yes. Penny, I thought I told you that you could never come... What the hell do you want?
JB, remember that television program I once told you about? The Treasure Hunt?
I told you how I felt about that damn treasure hunt.
Well, I just wanted to remind you that you hated the idea.
Yeah. Hetty, I thought I told you I cannot meet with you during business hours.
I didn't intend to embarrass you. I came for a business purpose.
Business?
I wish to tender you with my resignation.
Your resignation? What are you going to do?
I'm going to Los Angeles. I've been offered a very suitable position there.
Los Angeles? Hetty, you can't. Tell me what this is all about.
I just got a letter from my girlfriend. She's working for a big cosmetic firm out there. She demonstrates skin creams.
Skin creams.
Yeah, in all those big glamorous department stores. She can get me a job.
Hetty, that's undignified. You can't run around showing off some fake goo.
It's not a fake. It's a very fine skin cream called Dermablast. Do you want to know what it's made from?
Please, don't tell me.
Shark belly jelly.
I was afraid of that. Hetty, you said you wanted a career. What kind of future is there in shark bellies?
More than there is around here. Not a single guy will use me for his secretary. They run away from me like I've got an extremely tropical disease.
Hetty, if you could just learn to be a patient.
No, I've made up my mind. Bon voyage.
Well, good luck, dear.
Huh?
I'll manage somehow. Only how will I spend those lonely nights?
Well, you could stay at home.
I can't stay at home. I'm a married man.
Oh, you'll do all right.
Hetty, I can't live without you.
Do you mean that?
Oh, of course I do. I know I've seen to have everything. Old rich J.B. Bigley. Old money bags. People come to me with treasure hunts. My days are spent pocket money. And what does it all mean, Hetty? Nothing. Nothing means anything without you.
Now, wait a minute. Don't stop getting sincere. That's not fair.
Where will I find a treasure like love from a heart of gold, ever trusting and sweet, and awaiting my pleasure? What is it?
Why don't I be a secretary?
What, are you out of your mind? I mean, I have Miss Jones.
Well, I could assist Miss Jones. I could learn a lot from her.
Well, I don't know.
You don't want me as your secretary?
Hetty, if you could just learn to be patient.
All right, dear. I'll be patient. I'll give you 24 hours. After that, it's goodbye, Wickets. Hello, Dermablast.
Oh, but Hetty!
Hi, Finchy. I should be very angry with you, cutie pie.
Well, hi, Hetty. Have you seen Miss Jones? I've got to speak to Mr. Bigley.
Mr. Bigley? He ain't doing anything. You can go on in.
Say, Hetty, are you quitting?
Unless I hear otherwise to the contrary.
Maybe we can help each other.
Good. Let's bust out together.
I've got a different idea. Hetty, I've got to speak to you alone. Where can we go?
Let's go to my place.
Hetty, this is business.
Okay, let's go to your place.
Well,
Tell you what, take me out and buy me lunch. What about 1 o'clock? I'll meet you downstairs.
well, I
Do you want to talk or don't you?
Okay, Hetty, but make sure you meet me around the corner.
Gotcha, cutie. Chicken.
Hello, executive washroom. Oh yeah, I'm right here. What? Oh, the meeting? It's at 4:30. Come on down. We'll make plans.
Big meeting today, huh?
Yep.
Hear anything about what Finch is planning?
Well, JB gave him a postponement, so we must have something. You know, fellas, I'm beginning to get a little bit scared of Finch.
Me too. If we don't stop that guy real soon.
He'll have us all working down in the mailroom.
Hi, men.
Hear anything, bud?
Well, gents, our worries are over. Finch is going ahead with, well, let's just say he's dead. And I'm so happy I could cry.
That's very pleasant news.
I don't know. Finch has a way of bouncing. I don't think I would believe he was dead, even if I read his obituary.
Ordinarily, I'd agree with you. Finch is very smart. But he's working in advertising now, and we all know that does something to men's brains. Uh-oh. Has anyone seen my wild root cream oil?
Hiya, men.
All set for the big meeting?
Could be. Wish me luck, men.
Good luck.
Gotta stop that man. I gotta stop that man. Cold, or he'll stop me. Big deal, big rocket. Thinks he has the world in his pocket. Gotta stop that man. That man.
Now there you are. Yes, there's that face. That face that somehow I trust. It may embarrass you to hear me say it, but say it I must. Say it I must. You have the cool, clear eyes of a seeker of wisdom and truth. Yet there's that upturned chin and that grin of impetuous youth. Oh, I believe in you. I believe in you. I hear the sound of good, solid judgment whenever you talk. Yet there's that bold, brave offspring of the tiger that quickens your walk. I believe in you. I believe in you. And when my faith in my fellow man ever falls apart, I want to feel your hand grasping mine, and I take heart. I take heart to see the cool, clear eyes of a seeker of wisdom and truth. Yet with the slam, bang, tang, reminiscent of gin and vermouth. Oh, I believe in you. I believe in you.
Gotta stop that man. Gotta stop that man. Or he'll stop me. Big Peter, run off steamer. Gotta stop that man. Don't let him be such a hero. I believe in you. Stop that man, gotta stop him. Stop that man, gotta stop him. Stop that man, gotta stop that man.
The farmer spends his time in the fields, the laborer at his machine, and the businessman at meetings.
Gentlemen, where's Finch?
He's not here yet, sir.
Well, we have other business to take care of before we come to Finch's presentation. Let's see, Brett?
Yes, JB?
That stuff you recommended for my crabgrass doesn't seem to work at all.
I don't understand it, JB. My lawn's beautiful.
Well, my lawn's a mess. Better get something new.
Right, JB?
Well, we don't have any problems with crabgrass in our house.
What do you use?
Cement! Just a little joke, Jamie.
Gentlemen, will you please excuse my nephew? It's a combination of youth, high spirits, and extreme stupidity. Now, let's see. Yes? Oh, yes, we've been waiting for him. Send him right in. It's Finch.
Gentlemen, I'd like to present my new approach to wicked advertising. It's based on an idea which, in my humble opinion, is brilliant.
Sounds promising. Proceed, Finch. What the hell is that?
That's a picture of Mount Vesuvius in eruption. That gives you an idea of the kind of impact our new television show is going to have. Now, JD, an example of the kind of national publicity you can look forward to.
Oh, God!
The cover of Time. The cover of Newsweek. And finally, JB, the Golfer of the Year.
I like this thinking.
Now, here's a map of the potential wicket market divided into social, geographic, and ethnic groups. This shows how we will make deep penetration and overwhelming saturation in areas where resistance has long been peaked.
Very interesting.
Thank you. Now, here's a sales chart of the past fiscal year, which reflects the disastrous effect of our previous advertising policy in terms of per capita consumption of wickets. Note the sharp decline from normal regularity. Down, down, down. And this is what's going to happen when our sales get going, as they soon will. Up, up, up.
Very good, Finch. I think you've done it.
JB, can I ask a question?
Yes?
What is his idea?
Yeah, you heard. A television show that'll give us deep penetration and peak reaction. Sounds great, doesn't it, man? Just great.
JB, what is his idea for the program?
Yeah, I don't see you have to be so damn negative about these things. The only ideas you ever come up with are lousy ideas like treasure hunts. So, Finch, what is this idea?
I don't think I'm going to tell you.
What do you mean?
You know, JB, I've always thought of you as a man of breadth and vision, open to new ideas. But now I don't know. I'm thrown.
By what?
By the way you just spoke to Bud about his idea for a treasure hunt. You dismissed it. The fact is, JB, there are treasure hunts and there are treasure hunts. When Bud brought it to me, I thought it was a rotten idea too.
I should hope so.
But then I remembered something, JB. You know, an idea in itself is nothing. It's the development that counts. Leonardo da Vinci drew some sketches for a flying machine, but it took American know-how to develop them into a Boeing 707. A man named Gatling once invented a tiny little machine gun, but it took a great brain to take that tiny little machine gun and develop it into a great program like the Untouchables. When I thought of that, JB, Bud's silly idea became a challenge to me. I said, I'm going to take Bud Frump's idea and defrump it. First of all, my treasure is not bond, and it's not money, it's stock. Stock! 50,000 shares of stock.
Stock in our company?
These days, people like stock better than money.
How can we issue 50,000 extra shares of stock?
That's no problem. It's a simple matter of taking the convertible debentures from the sinking fund, issuing stock options, which are exchangeable for rights, which we then convert into non-voting common exchange with warrants.
Tell me that again.
I can't.
JB, it can't be done.
It can't be done.
But if it could, wouldn't it create a tremendous publicity?
But it can't be done.
But if it could,
But it can't.
just for a moment, say it could be done. What's your answer, JB?
Oh, I forgot the question.
You can't give away stock.
Right.
We give away stock dividends, don't we? Now, gentlemen, please let me go on with my presentation. We're ready.
Finch, I hate giveaway shows.
So do I, JB, but the public always loves them. I tell you, anyone who can come up with a new, unfixed, unrigged way to give away something for nothing is going to clean up. I have that new twist. Gentlemen, the worldwide wicked treasure girl.
What is this?
This is my secret ingredient. The thing that's going to take the country by storm. I'm combining greed with sex. Can't miss. Go ahead, Hetty.
Hello there. I'm the worldwide wicked treasure girl. And each week I'm going to bring you a clue to where the worldwide treasure has been stashed.
Buried.
Oh yeah, buried. This eye patch gets me mixed up. Isn't this a cute outfit? I just love it.
Oh, very nice, Miss LaRue. Very nice.
Of course, Miss LaRue is just helping me to demonstrate the idea.
Naturally.
When we go on the air, we need a big name personality.
Of course. Well, I'm leaving the firm anyway. Of course I wouldn't.
Offhand, I'd say it'd be great for someone like Elizabeth Taylor.
Hey, Finch, well, why don't you get Queen Elizabeth?
But this is an American program. Now, a beautiful treasure girl and 50,000 shares of stock. Surely we'll
JB,
just...
why don't we just tell this maniac off and get on with our other business?
Yeah. I'll take care of this. Gentlemen and Miss LaRue, will you please leave me alone with Mr. Finch?
All right. You take care of it. I still say it's crazy. What about the SEC?
What about the FCC?
What about the stockholders?
What about the board of directors?
What about the federal statutes?
What about the Federal Trade Commission?
What about the Senate Investigating Committee?
They're all being petty.
Finch, you're a brilliant young chap, but I'm afraid you've let us down.
How so, JB?
You missed the boat. You haven't thought this out properly.
I'm not sure I understand, JB.
Why does this treasure girl have to be such a big-name personality?
Sir?
How would it be if she was, well, someone more, more identified with the company?
A real worldwide wicked girl?
Yes. Say, why not Miss LaRue herself?
Brilliant, JB, brilliant! Instead of using an artificial actress, we'll just use plain old simple Hetty LaRue, the girl next door. That was a great thought, JB.
It wasn't bad, was it?
Then it's all settled.
Finch, where are you going to hide this treasure?
JB, this show is totally unrigged. Not even the treasure girl is going to know where the treasure is buried.
Yeah, well, I'd like to know.
Okay, it'll be a secret between you and me. I'm going to give you the first clue that this treasure girl is going to read over the air. West of the sun, west of the moon, where is the treasure? Below me a tomb.
What the hell is that?
It's a tough clue, isn't it? But if you will know, the first letter of each line are WWWB. Worldwide Wicked Buildings.
You're not going to use our buildings, are you?
I'm going to hide 5,000 shares of stock in each of the 10 worldwide wicked buildings across the country. It would create tremendous publicity.
Yeah, but you'll have mobs of people running all over the building looking for that damn treasure.
JB, if a man as brilliant and educated as yourself couldn't guess from the clue I gave you, do you think the average viewer is going to guess?
Good point.
Gentlemen, you can come out now.
Gentlemen, I'm thinking of going ahead with Finch's idea. Of course, I want your approval.
Personally, JB, I think it's a crazy motion.
I like it.
And I like it.
We like it.
Worldwide Wicket Company, whose slogan for over 100 years has been Worldwide Wickets for a Wider World, presents In Living Color, in interest of better TV programming, the Worldwide Wicket Treasure Hunt. Now for the opening number. We present an authentic traditional folk dance of old pirate folk of the old Spanish Main. Dance for your pleasure by the Jolly Wickets.
tried for some production value. Give it a chance. Patty's coming out soon.
Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. The worldwide wicked treasure girl.
You know, this is beginning to get to me. Even I'm beginning to wonder where the treasure is.
Yeah, come on, where is it, Connie? No. Only JB and myself know where the treasure is buried. Right, JB?
Right, Monty.
Hello there. I'm the Worldwide Wicked Treasure Girl, and I'm about to give you your first clue in the Worldwide Wicked Treasure Hunt. In 10 different places across this great country, there are buried 5,000 shares of stock, making a total of 50,000 shares in all! Now for the first clue. The first clue. The first clue is west of the sun.
One moment, treasure girl. This man is carrying a Bible. Place your right hand on it. Miss LaRue, do you swear that there has been no fixing or rigging in connection with this show? And that the clue that you are about to reveal to us is the truth, the whole truth, free from any trickery, chicanery, or dishonesty?
Is this a real Bible?
What's the matter with her?
She looks surprised.
She is. I didn't tell Hetty about this. I wanted this part of the show to be completely spontaneous and unrehearsed.
That could be very dangerous.
I think it's very effective.
Do you swear to that, Miss LaRue? Miss LaRue?
I do.
And secondly, do you swear that you yourself do not know where the actual treasure is hidden? Do you swear to that, Miss LaRue? Miss LaRue?
You see, we're going to get into trouble.
Why, JB? You and I are the only ones who know where the treasure is buried. She doesn't know. Does she?
Let's watch the program.
Miss LaRue, do you swear that you yourself do not know where the actual treasure is hidden? Miss LaRue?
Look, I don't want to take a bum rap. I will not swear false witness to perjury. I do know where the treasure is hidden. I found out last night. There's a treasure hidden in all the Worldwide Wicked buildings right now. The first clue.
In a man's career, there are times when things go a bit wrong. We have many suggestions for coping with these little problems. However, should you be the cause of a disaster that's really disastrous, we suggest that your best bet is to review the first chapter of this book, How to Apply for a Job.
Have you guys found Finch yet?
He seems to have disappeared. Can't find him.
No, but we're looking for him.
I haven't seen him.
Where's Finch?
I don't know, Brett.
Well, JB wants him as soon as you find him. He's hopping, man.
Hey, come back, here, you!
What are you doing?
This little nut, it's one of those treasure hunters. He tried to sneak past me 3 times.
This little nut is the chairman of the board. It's Mr. Whomper.
Chairman of the board? They all look alike to me.
I'm very sorry about this, Mr. Whomper. If you'll just come with me, Mr. Bigley is waiting for you in his office. Luckily, they didn't wreck him. You keep looking for Finch.
Oh, Rosemary, have you seen Conti? No, I haven't, Miss Jones, and I'm so worried about him. So am I. He wasn't a nice boy. Was? What would they do to him? I don't know. Somebody's head has to roll. Conti will think of something, won't you, Conti? You have the cool, clear eyes of a seeker of wisdom and truth. Yet there's that upturned chin and the grin of impetuous youth.
Oh, Rosemary, I'm so glad you're here.
Where have you been?
Well, I was walking the streets, thinking.
You have a bruise on your head.
Oh, it's nothing. I got it last night. They threw me out of a saloon
Why did they do that?
because I didn't buy anything.
The brutes. Why don't you just go home?
No, Rosemary, I've got to go in there and face the music.
Aha!
Well, this is it.
The chairman of the board is in there.
I figured that.
What are you going to do?
Dude, what does a man do when the world has collapsed around his ears? Nothing. I'm just going to have to get it over with.
Ponty, I know what that mind of yours.
I'm putting that mind of mine away. I'm going to make a clean breast of everything and go back to what I was doing before I came here.
What were you?
I was an exterior decorator. There I go. I can't even tell you the truth, Rosemary. I was a window washer.
So what? I'm sticking. I walked out on you once.
You did?
Well, I'm not leaving you again.
You can't be the wife of a window washer. That's no life for a woman. Sitting at home while I'm up there, always wondering if I've ever landed safely.
Now look here, Mr. Finch.
Finch, you're right in JB's office.
I thought I'd wash up first.
They want you now.
Can I at least say goodbye to Rosemary?
Go ahead.
Rosemary, goodbye.
Come along, Finch.
I'm sorry, Rosemary. I wish none of this ever happened.
Ponty,
Finch, why should you have to go in there and face those monsters? Go ahead, run away, escape. I'll pretend I didn't see you. For all they side.
No, but I've got to go in there and get it done with. How'd you think you'd be happy if they killed me?
If I could only be sure.
JB, it looks like all of our key men are here. Gentlemen, I believe you know Mr. Wampum, chairman of the board.
Now, Walt, let me tell you, before we go any further, I realize that I'm the president of this company, the man who is responsible for everything that goes on here. So I'd like to state right now, Wally, anything that happened is not my fault. There's one bright side to this whole thing, Wally. You'll be glad to know we've got someone to pin it on. Have you found Finch yet?
They're bringing him in now, sir.
Good. You'll soon see where the responsibility for this whole thing lies, Wally. When he gets here, I'll do the talking. This is a very slick youngster, Wally.
Come along, Finch. He's here, sir.
Mr. Bigley, I just
Never
want to
mind,
say...
I'll do the talking. Oh, by the way, you never met Mr. Wampum. This is the chairman of the board.
How do you do, Mr. Wampum?
No speeches, Finch. It's all settled. All I want you to do is sign a simple letter of resignation in which you accept all the blame for what has happened.
I'll be glad to, Mr. Bigley.
What's that?
I said I'll do what you said.
Sure this is one of your tricks?
No, Mr. Bigley, I'm all through with that. You see, now I'm going to leave the firm and go back to what I was doing before I came here.
What did you do, Finch?
I was a window washer.
No kid. I started as a window washer myself.
You did?
What the hell do you think I was? A rail splitter? College man. So you were a window washer?
Yes, sir, Mr. Whopper.
Call me Wally.
Okay, Wally.
Tell me, man.
Call me Ponty.
Okay, Ponty. Boy, it's been a long time since I've had someone around here I could talk to. How'd you get into this business?
Well, you see, Wally, I had this book.
Yeah, me too.
This is a book about how to succeed in business.
Mine was more useful. I booked bets for all the other window washers. I cleaned up a bundle. Should have stood in that business. 8 buildings wrecked, our stock's down 5 points. We're the laughing stock of the industry.
I know, Wally. It's ghastly.
Ponty, how could this happen? I can understand a college man pulling a motor like this, but not no window washer. Now this idea
Oh, wait a minute, Wally. If there's one thing I won't do, it's take the credit for another man's idea. Especially when he's the boss's nephew.
You never told me you hired your nephew.
Nephew? Oh, nephew. Well, he's not actually my nephew, Wally. He's my wife's nephew. This may seem like nepotism, Wally, but I assure you it's not. I never show him any favoritism. In fact, I hate him.
But you love his ideas.
Oh, no! When Bud brought that idea to me, I thought it was a lousy idea. And when Finch brought the idea to me, I still thought it was a lousy idea. And I told him it was a lousy idea.
Then why'd you buy it?
Seemed like a good idea.
Treasure hunts, treasure girls.
Well, Vince dressed it all up. He can't deny the idea for the treasure girl was his.
That was my idea.
Not a bad one at all. But who the hell picked that bubble-headed tomato?
Oh, now don't jump to any conclusions, Wally. She's a really nice girl. You ought to talk to her.
I intend to. Well, I think I've got the whole picture. Now the question is what to do and who to do it to.
Now, Wally, before you make any hasty decisions, I'd like to say a few words.
About what?
Humanity. Even though we're all part of the cold corporate setup, deep down under our skins, there's flesh and blood. We're all brothers.
Some of us are uncles.
Now you may join the Elks, my friend, and I may join the Shriners, and other men may carry cards as members of the diners. Still others wear a golden key or small three-letter pin. But I have learned there's one great club that all of us are in. They're in the Brotherhood of Man, a benevolent brotherhood of man, a noble tie that binds of human hearts and minds into one brotherhood of man. Your lifelong membership is free. You can give each brother all you can. Oh, aren't you proud to be in that fraternity, the great big brotherhood of man? So, Wally, I want you to remember that before you consider firing Mr. Bigley.
Who's considering that?
I know what's on your mind, Wally. You'd like to clear out the whole crowd from top to bottom. That's the obvious. But just stop and think. One man may seem incompetent, another not make sense, while others seem like quite a waste of company expense. They need a brother's leadership, so please don't do them in. Remember, mediocrity is not a mortal sin. We're in the brotherhood of man, dedicated to giving all we can. Oh, aren't you proud to be in that fraternity, the great big brotherhood of man?
double feet. Feels like bells are pealing. Down with double dealing. Oh, brother, you got me, I got you.
Give me a break! We were always the best of friends, Max! Remember all the fun times, the parties, Ernest? You I've never liked. I can make it worth your while. No, I can't. It doesn't pay to be decent. Well, I'm not going to go. You can't make me. I'm too young to go. I'm just a boy. I'll get sick.
Hey, Smitty, any news yet?
I haven't heard anything. Oh, Mr. Jenkins, have you heard any news yet?
No, I haven't heard anything yet.
Looks like a big shakeup.
Boys and girls, may I have a word? As you all know, there have been a few changes made here at Worldwide Wickets. I am now speaking to you in my new capacity as Vice President in charge of employee morale and psychological adjustment. Mr. Tackerberry here is now in charge of personnel. Now, I would like you all to hear a few words from our hard-driving, hard-working President, J.B. Bigley.
I can truly state that Worldwide Wickets is now stronger than ever. Now I feel a lot of the credit should go to a certain bright and loyal young man. Come out here, Finch. As you know, Finch's rise to the top has been amazingly rapid. For a time, I thought he was even after my job. Luckily for me, he didn't want it.
No, JB, your job would be much too tough for me. But if any credit is due, I think it should go to a great man and a great humanitarian. The chairman of the board, Mr. Wally Whomper.
Here, here.
Incidentally, Mr. Whomper has brought his charming wife with him today. Let's get them both out here. Mr. and Mrs. Whomper. Mr. Whomper told me he didn't feel like making any speeches today. He's still a newlywed. But I have a surprise announcement to make about him. Mr. Whomper has decided, after his long years of service, to retire as chairman of the board. And he and his wife are going on a long honeymoon cruise around the world.
Sweetie, you didn't tell me! What a surprise!
I didn't know. Well, what the hell? It's not a bad idea, Dad. I'll concentrate on you.
So, Wally, who's going to be the new chairman of the board as if I didn't know?
Now, wait a second. I don't know if I can accept that. We'll have to consult Mrs. Finch.
Rosemary, your husband's calling.
Rosemary, I've got a big decision to make. They want to make me chairman of the board. What do you think?
Darling, I don't care if you work in the mailroom, or you're chairman of the board, or you're president of the United States. I love you.
Say that again.
I love you.
No, before that.
Miss Jones, take a wire to the White House. Watch out!
The company way. Executive policy is by us okay. Oh, for the deep ones in we shed a mournful tear. As the company fires
Thank you.